Turn and burn for 2 hours. Let's go.
We got the Schnitzel Wolf in over there. He's going to be disappointed yet again because we have learned that Aaron Judge is AL MVP. Cal Raleigh is not.
By a very, very close margin. It sounds like 4 votes.
4 votes, yeah. So there were a lot of votes for Jose Ramirez, Bobby Witt, Tarek Skubal, even Julio, but those are all 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place votes, right?
Yes.
So only 2 players got 1st or 2nd place votes. So there are 30 total votes. Aaron Judge got 17 first and 13 second. Cal Raleigh got 13 first and 17 second.
So, I mean, I don't know what the closest one, but I'm assuming 4 votes is probably
very close.
That's probably about as close as it gets.
Closer than I thought it was going to be.
Me too.
Sure.
Yeah, that is closer than I thought.
My dad and I just kept talking about like, hey, what is it going to be when voters go look at their ballots, per value attached to a certain player? What are we valuing? Is it catcher home runs? Is it defense? Is it Aaron Judge's amazing offensive statistics? And I'm actually surprised that I think a lot more people than I thought are giving Cal the credit that he's due.
Well, I think some of it was that Judge DH'd a lot this year after being dinged up.
I was going to say some of it I think is that Judge has already won 2.
Oh, well, this is his 3rd, right?
So I think when you see a guy that's kind of new and interesting and, certainly unique being the catcher and doing what Cal Raleigh did, that and Judge already had 2. Like if this is Judge's first, it's not close.
Yeah.
But he's already got 2 and Raleigh comes along and has a really unique special season. I can see voting for Cal Raleigh. I mean, I would have voted for Judge.
Yeah.
But I can see why somebody voted for Cal Raleigh.
Well, I like the idea. If you're a voter, I could see where someone says Judge was dinged up, DH for a good hunk of the season, plays a nice outfield. But I do think there's something to what Cal catch 150 games, something like that.
120 to 30. He DH'd about 40-ish. I gotta go look for sure.
I thought it was a little more than that. But the fact that you were back there behind the plate in the most grueling position, and you were their everyday catcher, and you went out and produced the historic season that you did at that position, broke basically every catching offensive statistical record. I can see where you look at that and say the demands of being a catcher and handling that pitching staff are greater than playing in the outfield and DHing.
Yeah, and I think that's why it was so close. Because otherwise, it's not. Yeah. I mean, Aaron Judge led the league in batting average, OPS, slugging percentage. I know Raleigh had more home runs, but Judge hit 50 again, at least 50 again. It's his 4th 50 home run. I mean, the guy's in like Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle territory. Yeah. Amongst Yankees, and yet somehow I sort of feel like he is underrated and undervalued. Like he's a larger than life player. He's the best in the game. He's 7th all time in all of baseball history in OPS. And I think there's only one other player that homers as frequently as him per at bat, and that's Mark McGwire.
He's fantastic.
Like you just can't tear Aaron Judge down in any other way other than a guy like Cal Raleigh who plays catcher and has the year that he had. I mean, that is the unique part of it and probably why it was so close. But, I mean, my God, Aaron Judge is just an absolute monster.
By the way, I was looking up. Dude, there was actually a MVP tie back in the day.
How did they break the tie?
Well, I guess
Rochambeau?
No. So this is weird. This is 1979, Willie Stargell and Keith Hernandez. And both ended up with 216 points because you mentioned, right, it's 1st and 2nd place and there's like 3rd and 4th. But the strange part is that Willie Stargell got 10 first place votes, 6 more than Hernandez. Dave Winfield finished 3rd, but Stargell was left off 4 ballots completely, while Hernandez was the only player on every ballot. So Willie Stargell got more first place votes, but Keith Hernandez was on every ballot and Stargell wasn't included in some, which is just...
Is that a racial thing?
I don't know. I don't know enough about
what year?
1979.
79. Yikes.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, there's been a couple that are, Joe DiMaggio beat Ted Williams by 1 point. There's been a couple of those. Just a couple years ago, Stanton in 2017 beat Votto by 2 points. You forget that Stanton was the MVP.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Giancarlo Stanton when he was with the Marlins.
By the way, you know how old Aaron Judge is?
Well, I thought Ohtani was like 28, 29. And you said he was 31. And I know Judge came up a little later. I'm guessing Judge is about the same age. I'm going to say 31.
He's 33.
33.
And will turn 34 at the start of this season.
Yeah, we've talked about this when he was going on that historic run when he was chasing the real home run record in some people's mind. He was not one of those guys that broke into the bigs when he was like 19 or 20.
No, he's been there 10 years.
Yeah. And you're right. I think for as great as he has been, he is probably underappreciated for how good he is.
I just think it's weird. I feel like we take him for granted.
Yeah.
And I think it's weird. You would think that a Yankee superstar, 6'7", sparkling smile.
Nice guy,
freaking basically putting up Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth type of numbers.
Yeah.
You would think he would be just like
rammed down your throat.
He's the Yankee. Yeah. Like he would just be the star in American sports. And Aaron Judge is just not.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you think of like Jeter was great, but a lot of people always had a problem with Jeter because they're like, yes, Derek Jeter is great. Derek Jeter is not the best player in baseball. And they just thought that he was kind of, if Derek Jeter played in Cleveland, he's not Derek Jeter. And yet Aaron Judge is the opposite of that, right? It feels like Aaron Judge is more like someone that plays in Cleveland or plays in a decent sized market. He's not hidden or anything, but you're right, is that he is not kind of crammed down your throat the way a superstar of his nature in New York probably
And I guess we would be thankful for that. Because
Yeah,
we'd probably be bitching about it
we'd be bitching, yeah. Yeah. Because it is true. Like a lot of times they just beat you over the head with it, and I don't think they do that with Judge.
No, he actually makes me want to like. I don't know. Yes, I mean it's the Dodgers are hard to hate, like we've been talking about, because of Team Japan and Shohei's so likable, and but I gotta say the Yankees, you would think we would just absolutely loathe Aaron Judge because we do loathe the Yankees, but we don't.
No,
and maybe that's because he isn't shoved down our throat for whatever reason.
Yeah. Mariner fan, by the way, on Twitter, and the Mariner, like the faithful, the softies of the world, and the Jason Puckett, not happy, not happy that this went down. This will be another slight of the Seattle Mariners in a lot of people's eyes.
I mean, I'm not really so emotionally hurt, but to defend them a little bit, usually 60 home runs, that's the MVP number. And I think this will be only the second or third time ever that a guy hasn't hit
53, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about what Judge does. I'm talking about just Cal in a vacuum. And if a guy hits 60, that's usually an MVP year. And I think that's kind of what Mariners fans.
He had an MVP year.
Yeah, on top of the catcher thing. Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Unfortunately, like two things can be true.
Yes, Aaron Judge was historic.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You lose me with the whole East Coast bias thing.
Yeah. Well, I would not have a problem. I'm an impartial person here, right? I'm not. I think me personally, I would have given if I had a vote, I think I would have gone with Cal Raleigh. I think the catcher thing to me, I give some credence.
That's what you value more.
That's what I value more. But I don't think I don't think there's a wrong decision. I just think there are some things in the world where the correct decision is whatever you want it to be. And I think this is one of those. Had Cal Raleigh won this, I don't think there would have been an outrage. I think there would have been a lot of people in New York and like Rop that would have been like, no, this should have been Aaron Judge, just like Aaron Judge got it. And there's going to be a lot of people in Seattle and other people that are like, Cal Raleigh. When it comes down to 4 votes, that lets you know that both were the correct answers. There was no wrong answer in this. And the people that voted for it, 4 people.
So if there's no wrong answer,
writers.
How is it bias? You know what I mean?
It's not.
Like,
there's no bias.
like
that's stupid. That's
the voting proves that there's no bias.
No, the fact that you were 4 short, that just means if you're saying that, then you're just an angry, bitter West Coast guy that's trying to put your bias and shove it in the face of the New Yorkers and saying the only reason he won is because he's from New York, and that's a dumb argument when it's now if this had been 28 to 28-4, then yeah, you can sit there and be like, really? No one thought Cal Raleigh, but it was 4 votes. You can't, I just don't think you can be pissy and moany about that.
All right, why is this guy the odds-on favorite?
The odds?
Yeah, why did I say it like
I know
that?
he's the odds on favorite. By the way, Julio 6th in the MVP.
That will actually bump him up contract-wise because he's top 10 again, MVP finish. So
how much more money does he get?
I think $40 million over the course of that 10-year deal that he signed, and he's on his way to. It could be a maximum 14-year, $490 million deal. That puts him a step closer to it.
I'm just saying, if you're a Mariner fan, it's got to feel good that your two young horses that you have locked up, 2 top 6 MVP seasons.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I morphed into East Coast sports guy.
You were talking about the Yankees.
Maybe I am biased. I don't know.
About the Woods, you're like from Montreal now too.
Is that what it sounded like? More Canadian?
It sounded more Canadian. The
Oods.
tournaments, but yeah, you went Oods. You had a little Canadian there.
About time.
Oh
About
yeah.
time, Rob.
Yeah, Oods, the Oods.
And finally, but not last, winner of the Golden Boot, the tournament's top scorer and the Golden Ball, the best player,
Ball, the ball.
Megan Rapinoe.
Like a Rapido.
Wrap it all.